Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins with a girl named Junajang. One day, she found a boxing glove in the ruins of the house. She then took the boxing gloves home. At home, her father saw her bring up boxing gloves. Her father didn't like it because it wasn't for girls. But Junajang is stubborn. Every day she puts on those boxing gloves and plays boxer there. Her mother just smiled seeing her daughter who likes to wear boxing gloves. Time has passed and Junajang has grown into a teenager. One day at school, she got into a fight with a boy. She blindly fought with the man. The incident did not last long because the teacher came and finally the man left. She fought with him for defending her friend who was always hurt by her boyfriend. At home, Junajang was caught fighting by her father that could see the bruises on her face. Her father actually wanted to go to an athletic school. But she never want the incident made. She punished. She was not allowed to leave the house for a week. A week later, when she was about to leave her school, she saw the man who was fighting with her. She was again angry to see that man, and she challenged him again to a fight. She then put on her boxing gloves and started a fight. The man then ran away, but Junajang still chased him. They kept running and running until they finally entered a gym training ground. There, seeing some people practicing boxing, a coach immediately shouted to end the noise made by Junajang. The coach said that boxing gloves are not for fighting, but for sports. This coach named Coach Singh, who is a former Asian champion boxer, knowing that Junajang was immediately interested and said she wanted to practice boxing with him, Coach Singh then gave her a chance to practice. He said if she really wanted to practice, she had to come every day at 7 a.m. Junajang was so happy that she hugged the man she was fighting at home. She immediately told her mother that she was going to practice boxing. Her mother agreed, but her father refused. But Junajang did not respond to her father. The next morning, Junajang's first day of boxing practice, she was so prepared that she was willing to climb on the roof of the car so as not to arrive late. When she reaches the training ground, she meets Coach Singh. But he was only told to sit down until practice time was over. She didn't do anything. The next day, she did the same. She was just told to sit down by the coach watching other boxers train for 10 days straight. She was just told to sit like that until one afternoon when practice was over. Coach Singh finally told Junajang to get into the ring, and from that moment, she began to train with the others. One day she saw her brother crying. He says as the cows in their house are mortgaged to pay the debt. Hearing that, she promised to take back their cows. She then gets the news. That summer, there is a street fighting match where the winner can get money. Junajang then had the idea to take part in the match. Finally, she came and challenged a male fighter. This man's name is Lobboy. At first she was underestimated, but she challenges Lobboy back, saying is he afraid of her? Hearing that made Lobboy's emotions burn. He then said if Junajang could defend against him every 15 seconds, then Lobby would give $4. The fight starts. At first, Junajang avoided his attack, but one attack managed to hit her face. The next attack knocked her to the ground. There Lobboy started arrogant but from behind. Junajang got up and the fight started again. Junajang dodged down and immediately punched Lobby in the stomach and face. Her attacks were weak and had no effect on him. She attacked again but was held back. Then with one punch, Lobboy punched her in the face until she finally lost. After the match was over, Junajang got into an altercation with a boxing scalper. The fight is only paid $4, though she managed to survive 45 seconds, so she should get $11. Suddenly a man helped solve their problem. This man's name Onler. Finally the scalper gave up and gave $11 to Junajang. The next day, she returned to take her parents' cow and managed to pay off the pawn shop fee. Of course her brother was happy. Junajang continued to do the exercises for some time until finally the announcement of the regional level championship match was issued by Coach Singh. She then checked the announcement paper, but she didn't see her name listed there. Coach Singh then says she is on the match list. But the name has been changed because Junajang's full name is too long. And from that moment, the name Junajang has changed to Mary Kom. The regional championship has began. This was Mary Kom's first game and she must do her best. She had a briefing with Coach Singh, and then she stepped into the ring. The fight was fierce. Mary performed well. Her attacks always hit the target until finally the opponent fell. She won the game and got her first medal. She then showed the medal to Allah with pleasure at a coffee shop. Mary's father was there. His friends were reading the newspaper and talking about the news about a female boxer becoming boxer champion, and she is from their village. Mary's father then took the newspaper and saw a photo of his daughter plastered on the newspaper. Immediately he went straight home and suddenly looking for something there. His wife asked him what he wanted to find. He then asked where the boxing gloves were. With an angry tone, his father shouted, asking again where his boxing gloves were. Finally, Mary handed the boxing gloves to her father. Her father immediately threw it into the burning. This made Mary shocked and immediately clashed with her father. There he gave two options: choose her father or choose the world of boxing. There she could not answer. The situation was getting tense, and she finally answered that she prefers boxing. She then continued her profession as a boxer, and as time went on she got victory after victory until she finally arrived at the World Championship match in Turkey. The villagers flocked to the small TV to watch Mary play, but her father still did not accept Mary as a boxer. He just sat quietly in the house and did not participate in watching. Meanwhile, Mary started her match, but her performance is not good. Several times she was hit by a crushing blow, and her points were left behind by her opponents. Suddenly from a distance her father saw the TV and was secretly moved until finally he shouted, encouraging his daughter. Everyone was surprised and turned happy to see Mary's father supporting and encouraging her, and in the match Mary suddenly felt renewed. She has risen from her defeat. She then attacks her opponent one after another until she finally won the match and became world champion. Seeing his daughter's victory on TV, he became moved. With tears in his eyes now he recognizes Mary and bless her career as a boxer. Mary even gave a watch as a gift to her father for her victory in a match in Turkey. One day she was having dinner with Anler. There she complained about her mother, who always brought her closer to men to get married in. That conversation, Anler said if he want to marry with her, he says if he is a man who will always support her. Hearing that, Mary became shocked and fell silent. A world championship match was held again. This time Mary's opponent is a German boxer who is known as a ferocious boxer. Battle began. The first round battle was fierce. Mary managed to attack her opponent, but in the second round Mary lost focus. It seems that Alner's proposal some time ago made her mind unfocused. Mary was attacked so many times that she was overwhelmed. During the break, Mary was scolded by Coach Singh for not focusing, but in rounds 3 Mary finally managed to focus again. Her attack managed to overwhelm her opponent until finally her final punch ended the match. Mary managed to win again and became the world champion for the third time. At the celebration session, Mary screams to Antler that she finally accepted Antler's proposal, but the unexpected happened. Mary tells Coach Singh that she will marry Antler. Hearing that, Coach Singh became angry. He wanted Mary to stay focused as a boxer because according to his experience, married athletes will end their careers and they will regret it. But Mary remained firm in her convictions. Finally Mary's wedding with Antler was held. They look happy from far. It is seen Coach Singh coming there but doesn't meet them. He felt uncomfortable with all of this. Time has passed after the two of them got married. One day Mary saw the test pack and she was stunned by the results. She's pregnant. She then tell that to her husband. Omar looked very happy and immediately hugged Mary. But Mary didn't seem pleased. Time passed and her wound grew. She says if she misses boxing, she had harbored this feeling for a long time and only now did she express it. Her career is over and it makes Mary and Omar quarrel. The day of Mary's child's birth arrived. She was in the delivery room. Things weren't good. She had difficulty giving birth normally. The doctor then suggested a cesarean section. Luckily all went well. Mary gave birth to a pair of twins. They were named Rinkba and Nai. From that moment Mary's life as a mother began. She did her duty as a good mother, but the economic situation meant she had to work extra hard. Until one night Mary was talking with Amla. She said that everyone had started to forget Mary Kom. Amla then advised his wife to start boxing again. But Mary was doubtful and had no self-confidence because she had given birth and her body was not what it used to be. But her husband encouraged her until finally Mary was excited again to start boxing again, and the next morning she began to practice. After a long time she started running in the morning, but her stamina is still not what it used to be. One day Omar suggested her to work out at the gym. She is hesitant as she has to meet Coach Singh, but the next day as he came there she tries to talk to Coach Singh, but she is ignored. Finally she practiced alone with the company by her friends. One day she came to Coach Singh's house. There she said if she seriously wanted to return to the world of boxing, but she couldn't do it without Coach Singh giving birth to a Mary Kom. She begs Coach Singh to train her again because he is the only one who can bring Mary Kom back to how he used to be. Finally Coach Singh agreed on the condition that Mary had to train twice as hard as before. So began the extra hard training for Mary. She trains in nature, do extra heavy exercises every day to restore stamina and strength as before. One day it was time for Mary Kom to reappear after a long time. She then got a match in China. She represented India in the championship games for the gold medal. Mary then said goodbye to her family and children in China. Mary won the game after game until finally she reached the final round. But on the other hand, one of Mary's children named Nai is sick when Mary's match will to start. Suddenly her husband called and said that Nai was sick and is being treated in hospital. Nai has a hole in her heart and she needs surgery urgently. This fact really hit Mary, who would be competing in a few minutes. Her sadness was visible when she entered the ring. She seemed unable to focus. Her eyes filled with tears as she remembered her daughter and the bow begin. But she had lost focus many times. She was attacked by her opponent. Meanwhile, in India, New York, Nai is being operated on by doctors. On the other hand, Mary's performance is bad. She was hit repeatedly without a fight until finally in the next round, she was unable to survive. With one more strike, her opponent managed to knock her down. At the same time, Nai's operation is critical. Her heartbeat stopped. Doctors immediately did what they could. Luckily, Nai's heart beats again, and meanwhile, the umpire counted Mary. Mary slowly woke up and tried to gather her strength again. She's on her feet again and still able to fight. Now she feels a new power. She began to counter-attack her opponent. Her attacks are very sharp and continuous. Overwhelmed, her opponent seen Mary's supporters, including her coach, cheering her on even though it's only on TV. Until finally Mary threw a punch that made her opponent fall and couldn't get up again. The referee started to count, but she was no longer able to get up. Mary managed to KO her opponent, and she ended up winning the match. Everyone clap and celebrate the win happily. Mary was seen crying with emotion over her victory. On the victory podium, she sees his coach receiving a call from the coach, signals that Nai's surgery was successful and she is recovering. She was relieved. And finally the Indian flag slowly climbed up. The national anthem is played, all sing with wisdom and pride. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos update. Like, share and turn on notification to help the channel.